Greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved and most loved Star Wars Dad Nooch Too Good. And you know, there are so many teams in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for you and for me. We are at different places in our roster development. Every single player in this game is at a different place in the game as far as the teams on the roster, the mods, the entirety of the roster from top to bottom. But as we go through the game and as we think about all the farms we're looking at and going after Galactic Legends and using gas to get 3 Galactic Legends and using CLS to get 3 Galactic Legends and going to get our big capital ships, there are teams that may fall by the wayside, teams you're not thinking about, teams that you're overlooking, teams that teams you might be sleeping on. That's what the title of the video is. I just couldn't grab it. Teams. So this is welcome to board. What are we talking about? Okay. We interrupt this video with big news on the channel. Well, just news that I've come across recently has been revealed to me here. Less than half of you guys that are watching this video right now are subscribed to the channel. So if you're not subscribed, you don't have alerts on, you're missing out on lots of stuff. You might be missing out on videos that are being published every day. You're missing out on streams. We are here streaming 4 to 5 days every single week. We're running Grand Arena, roster reviews, Conquest. We are doing assault battles. We're here just hanging out and having fun, working on mods, doing crazy stuff, making idiots of ourselves. Well, I guess that's just me making an idiot of myself. Anyway, make sure to like and subscribe, especially do the subscribing. Hit that subscribe button, turn the alerts on, make sure you are aware when Nooch Too Good Studios releases a video for your pleasure. And now I return you back to teams you might be sleeping on in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Okay. 5 teams you might be sleeping on in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Yes, thou are getting professional, boys and girls. And of course, we're gonna start right at the top here. This is one that I sat on for a long, way too long time in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Bo-Katan Mandalore is a crazy, she is awesome. She's killing so much stuff in here, and I'll show you, we'll kind of show you some of the counters here, a little video in a moment, but I just want to point out that the farm for Bo-Katan Mandalore, relatively speaking, is not all that difficult. It's Kelleran Beck at Relic 7, Paz Vizsla at Relic 7, IG-12 and Grogu, and the Mandalorian Beskar armor. Now that's Beskar, bam, you know, Beskar Mando. You probably already have Beskar Mando at relic levels. If you're doing anything in the game, if you farm the Executor or whatever, it leaves you only 3 characters to unlock to go get Bo-Katan Mandalore. And as I rotate to the other side of the screen for what is likely to be the remainder of this video, I just wanted to pull out some, you guys have been watching me here lately. I know the Rolocron is out right now, but even without the Rolocron, Bo-Katan Mandalore has got a decent to good to middling shot against Lord Vader and his clones. She, not only Lord Vader, she pretty much crushes like everything on offense. She is a dynamic and invasive and eclectic, and she kills a lot of stuff. She kills a lot of stuff on offense in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. This is Lord Vader, and Lord Vader's going down. Now, again, this is with the current Rolocron that's out right now, but this is not unheard of that she can kill Lord Vader, even with the clones in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Let's go take a look at those matchups. And here we got those Bo-Katan matchups. Now, these are 5v5, but whatever. Killing Gungans, 51% against Lord Vader and his clones, and if you look here, that's the Rolocron. That's the Rolocron. That is as well a Gungan-Cron, a Gungan-Cron again, a Candyman-Cron, Canderous Ordo, Luminar. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the Rolocron. Bo-Katan really performs against Lord Vader. 50% clip for a non-galactic legend, only takes you 3 characters above what you already got to farm. Pretty good. Grievous is going down. Reva is going down at 90%. Maul Mandalorian's at 100%. I mean, she's, we got, what's his name? Grand Moff Tarkin Gideon, Grand Moff Gideon in there. We got it clearing off Ahsoka. We're doing Great Mothers. She is wrecking a lot of stuff that has come after her in the game and stuff that's come before her. 55% against Jedi Master Kenobi. Bo-Katan Mandalore is a real beast in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, and it was a big miss by me to wait this long to get her on my roster. Not to mention, she also has a special rote mission, Rise of the Empire Territory Battles. She has a special mission in there against the Krayt Dragon, and that's just another reason that you're sleeping. You are sleeping on Bo-Katan, and for the relative ease of that farm, with only 3 characters that you really need to get above, just go get her. Go get Bo-Katan and make her do great things on your roster. Next up, I want to take a look at Iden Versio. Now, Iden Versio is really more of, I feel like she's more of an early to mid-game character, like taking those extra Imperial Troopers, you know, these are all the extra Imperial Troopers, dropping them on her team. You can take them on offense and kill Geos. I mean, they just wreck Geos. They also wrecking CLS. You know, Geos and CLS are teams that you'll see on defense in Grand Arena, you know, all the way through the mid-game. As you get to the later parts of the game, you know, she's killed by Wampa pretty easily in most situations, unless the right Datacron is on her. You know, if you get a really good offensive stacking Datacron on her, Wampa could have some real problems taking her out, but good from the early to mid-game in your Grand Arena. But I also want to talk about more than just Iden Versio. It's also her ship, the TIE Defender. This thing is a huge lifter for your Imperial fleets, both Chimera and Executrix. I want to point out a couple of abilities here. On its unique, TIE Defender gains 10% evasion, and it does do a lot of evading, 20% offense, and 30% max protection. Whenever it gains resilient defense, which you guys know is like a taunt that it's stacks of taunt, basically, it recovers 10% protection. At the end of its turn, if TIE Defender has special forces and resilient defense, it gains foresight for 1 turn. By the way, this thing's doing truckloads of basic damage, just basic straight up damage. When TIE Defender evades, if it has special forces, recover 10% of health and gain 10% turn meter. But there's more. Whenever TIE Defender evades an attack, grant 10% turn meter to the allied capital ship and an additional 10% turn meter if TIE Defender has special forces. This effect is tripled for Empire capital ships. Look. I've been looking at a lot of these Empire fleets over time and not really saying enough about it. But the TIE Defender as a lifter unit for your Empire fleet, I know I've got Scythe out there. This is like an endgame fleet. You don't have to be an endgame fleet in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes for TIE Defender to lift it. Look, if you're farming Executor, you've got the TIE Bomber, you've got Darth Vader's Advanced, TIE Advanced, and you've got the TIE Fighter on your roster already. If you add TIE Defender to those 3, you're gonna do a lot of work all the way through the mid-game, even close into the late game against other negotiators, against malevolences, a malevolence eye, perhaps. You're gonna be doing a lot of work against those fleets. So TIE Defender, I have not harped on it enough, and I'm gonna start harping on it more, is one ship that you can farm to go with Iden Versio. And by the way, Iden Versio, when you farm on her node, is the Vulture Droid, so that can be nice for your malevolence too. But farming that TIE Defender to go along with your Iden Versio, to go along with your Empire fleet, is gonna let's watch what happens here. Look, it's almost out of health. I'm getting these turns, gonna bring in a reinforcement. Really, really good things happen. Now I'm facing off, you know, this is a malevolence fleet, and it's going a little bit dicey here. But just trust me, guys. Look, it's still alive. It took all of that, and it's still alive. It evaded all that. I get my turn. TIE Defender can be a huge lifter for your fleets, early game all the way through the end game. I've not recommended enough, and I'm going to be starting to recommend it a lot more. Do not sleep on this ship. Coming up next, a team that I am currently sleeping on. You see, I've got Maul up there at Gear 7, Garsax in Gear 7, Imperial Super Commando. I have not touched this team at all on my roster, but the Maul Mandalorians are a tremendous offensive tool for you in Grand Arena. They do great stuff, much like Bo-Katan. They're versatile. They kill a lot of teams you're going to come across on offense, and it's not that expensive. I know Maul, you know, it takes a while to get Maul on your roster, you know, but there is a Maul Lightspeed bundle out there if you bought the Maul Lightspeed bundle. But even in 3v3s with just Maul, Garsax, and Imperial Super Commando, this team does a lot of work on offense. Now, I have to admit, I'm pulling this video up not only because it's showing the Mandalorians, you know, going to work on Darth Revan on offense, but this is a 3+-year-old video of Calvin Awesome. Look at that old screen. He's got cut. Here's what's happening here. And trust me, I've done it. He recorded this on his phone. Look at the wide screen. He recorded this on his phone. He played the video in the background while he talked about it. He's got up at the top, he's got that purple purple space up there. Early Calvin Austin with the headgear on. Gambit Alliance EDF creators. Interesting. I don't know what that is. Was that he's a creator for his alliance? They made it. Anyway, look, guys. Calvin Austin has shown this team off a long time. This team's been around for a while, ever since Maul came out. Now, the problem was for a long time that Maul would sit on that Lord Vader team because that was kind of, he was the lifter for Lord Vader. You look at Lord Vader's kit, there's a lot of UFU, unaligned force user, dark side unaligned force user synergy there. So he used to sit on that Lord Vader team. Then people were pulling him off slowly to run this Maul Mandalorian team. And boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, and this is not even Garsax's Imperial Super Commando now that I look at it, but if you run him out there with Garsax's Imperial Super Commando, there are a lot of counters in Grand Arena. Specifically, we're looking at countering gas, countering that Finn Zorii team. More on that in a moment. Coming out and cleaning up, cleaning up solo Ahsokas, cleaning up solo Kylos, cleaning up solo Jabbas. The Geos are there. Adrad is out there. There's more Tuskens. That's okay. Just cleaning up anything, cleaning up everything. It's kind of like the Imperial Troopers used to be, but now they're the Mandalorians. What else we got here? Gas. We got the Bab. That's not as great, but I think, they're great mothers. Boy, that's a great counter for great mothers because they can be a real problem for you on defense in Grand Arena. The Mandalorians are again, a very useful tool. They're killing Qui-Gon there at 50%. A useful tool for you to have on your team for that right situation counter as a great cleanup later in the game. But if you're in the early to mid game, they're just going to be a straight up team on their own. Maybe even put them on defense in the right situation. But Mandalorians I have neglected them. They are coming up next on my roster. Once I finish Hondo, I'm on to the Mandalorians, depending on what CG just keeps off-ramping to us every 2 weeks. I need a break. I mean, I don't know about you, but I need a break from this constant 2-week, release pattern, but we'll see what happens after Hondo. But I'm going to dial into my Mandalorians and get them up and running. Up next for you guys, I know that a lot of you guys are out there farming Rey, or not farming Rey, but buying Rey bundles and unlocking Rey. And I see a lot of people with low gear Zorii Blisses. They haven't really bothered with them. Zorii Bliss creates an entire separate team that you can use for Grand Arena and other purposes as well. Even in TW, her Omicron is good, but mainly her Zetas on there really lift up this Finn lead team. Just getting Zorii Bliss on your roster and farming her, one character added can add a lot of depth to your roster. And did I just say depth to your roster? I don't know. And since we pull out old Calvin, we'll pull out old Nooch over there. This is me running the Rey event. I don't know why these old YouTube videos are blurry. I guess as they keep them on longer, they let them blur out. I don't really know. I don't know the deal with that. But regardless, this is me in the Rey event. If you have Zorii Bliss in the Rey event on this tier 1, cakewalk, absolute cakewalk. Now, everybody doesn't have her for tier 1, and it's tough to get her done. It's tough to get this tier 1 done if you don't have Zorii or C-3PO and or R2-D2, which a lot of people don't have when they're going after it, but she makes this a cakewalk. But she's also got a lot of use in Grand Arena. You put her on defense, people are going to have to counter that Finn team. They have to use real teams to counter. You got to use CLS, Galactic Legends. You can't counter that Zorii team with absolutely nothing. The cheapest team is a Night Sister team with Marin on it that I've used to counter that team a lot. But Zorii Bliss is a great lifter for that Finn team on offense and defense. You throw Rose in there, Rose Tico, and even with or without her Omicron, it's going to be a really good defensive team. You put that Omicron on Rose Tico, it's even better. You can get some really good usage out of this resistance team, and a lot of us, including myself, I got to admit, I have not put a ton of effort into Zorii Bliss here. And I do think she is more valuable all the way through the mid to late game. When you get to the end game, she kind of falls off. People are still putting her on defense in certain situations. But yeah, Zorii Bliss is a huge lifter, especially if you bought a Rey bundle and you want to lift up, half of that Rey bundle, lift it up on your roster, make it do something for you. And the final team you might be sleeping on here in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes are the Peridea Pals. You've got that great Peridea Patrol assault battle where they, it's a children's show with blue and red and pink dogs. They come out, the dogs come out on the screen, the Stormtrooper zombies, wipe them out of existence, just blow them off, and that... Blow them away, destroy the Paw Patrol. So the Peridea Patrol destroys the Paw. That's not how it works. And I went a really long way for that joke, and I don't think it's going to work at all. Like maybe you guys that had young kids like 6 or 7, 10 years ago. Anyway, the Peridea Patrol. These guys are all double shard farmable right now, and yes, they do cost 400 Kyra Tech each, but it's a 3-person team. That's a pretty effective team in Grand Arena too. I use this team like if I see a Qui-Gon on defense, this team just wipes it out every time. Right now, there's a nice little Datacron. I'm putting it on defense, or you can put them with your Night Mothers, your Great Mothers as well. These guys are a great team, but primarily for the Peridea Patrol. And here's me once again running that Peridea Patrol and getting my rewards. Guys, assault battle farming in this game, the earlier you can get these assault battle farms done, and we've talked about it a lot. Imperial Troopers, Phoenix, your CLS, your Revens, your Peridea Patrol here, your Poncho Bros. The sooner you get these farms done on your roster and you're maxing out those assault battles, the more the rewards are going to pay out for you in the long run, because the more and more you stack those rewards. You know, when you look at like stacking damage, you look at a character and you know, this character stacks 10% damage every time they land a crit or something like that, you know, with no limits, right? Well, assault battles are the same thing, except it's for roster building. Assault battles, by the way, what's with my green screen over there? That's bad. Assault battles are all about unlimited stacking for your roster over time, and the sooner you get these assault battles done, the better off you are. So the sooner you can farm Peridea Pals, and what you're gonna find is on my new free-to-play account, Nooch2Perfect, the free-to-play that I'm farming, I am going right after these guys. I got the first few assault battles. I'm gonna get the Executor. When I get the Executor done, I'm gonna be all in on these Peridea Pals to get that Peridea Patrol done and get that thing to start feeding my roster, feeding resources on my roster on a monthly basis. And there you go, folks. Those are the 5 teams that you might be sleeping on in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Do not sleep on these teams. Make sure you are farming them and bringing them onto your roster right now. That's all that I've got. I hope everybody has a great day. What am I doing over here? I hope everybody has a great day. We'll talk to you very soon. And of course, always remember, Nooch too good.